We're almost done. 3 out of 3. Blue. We've completed yellow. We've beaten red. And we've done Pokemon Stadium stuff with both of those teams. But now it is time for the third and final game of the original trio. Blue. Oh yes. Oh yes. It's time for Pokemon Blue. In this, our Gen 1 journey, where we take 3 teams from each of the original 3 Generation 1 games, all the way to Pokemon Stadium, and there create an amalgam team of the best performers to take on the hardest challenges that Pokemon Stadium has to offer. Welcome back, everyone, to Blue. The world is inhabited by creatures called Pokemon. If by now you're, I don't know, shocked by that fact, I'm not sure what you're doing here. First, what is your name? We will be going by an interesting name this time. We have already decided the naming convention for this one. We'll be naming ourselves after different characters from the glorious world of Warhammer Fantasy / Age of Sigmar. So we will be Sigmar. And our bastard, beautiful bouncing boy over here, who is a piece of shit, he will be the forces of Archaon. Let me spell it right. If I don't spell it right, I will actually go back and spell it right in like some kind of. You know what? Let me let me triple check how to spell Archaon. Archaon the Ever-Chosen. If you don't know anything about Archaon the Ever-Chosen, he's a motherfucker. I mean that in the most badass, but also extremely evil way possible. Archaon. Sorry, yeah, the map will do that a little bit here and there. Oh god, I've alt-tabbed all over the place. I'm a horrible YouTuber. I mean, if me being gone for like 4 months didn't tell anyone that, I don't know what else will. I remember now, his name is Archaon. I'm like the forces of chaos called Professor Oak. Behold me, the first demon prince, Oak. It's like, wow, that's to be honest with you, I was expecting a little more intimidation, but okay. Anyway, I've already done this once because I fucked it up before. That's all you need to know. I done diddly fucked it up earlier. I've already chosen what Pokemon we're going to be getting. Bye, Mom. I'm 10 years old, which means you have no legal control over me anymore somehow. Hey, wait, don't go out. I'm the forces of chaos. It's unsafe. Wild Pokemon live in tall grass. Once again, if any of this is, like, shocking for any of you, where the fuck have you been? This is, like, episode 400 of the Gen 1 journey. It's not. It's, like, episode 100 or something. But here we are, right back in the action. We're going to be going by a little fast, too, just because, well, to be honest, we've seen all this. A lot. Here, Sigmar, there are 3 Pokemon here. And we're going to start with a good friend. Alright, yes, thank you. Alright, please, shut the fuck up! Please! Okay, there we go. We want this one. The tiny turtle Pokemon Squirtle. After birth, its back swells and hardens into a shell. Powerfully sprays foam from its mouth. Gross. Yes, and I wish for it to be named a name, an interesting name, a good name, a name that starts with an L. Actually, it starts with Lord. Not necessarily all of these guys will be, ooh. I know what he must be named. I was going to name him after Croak, or Croak, I'm not actually sure. I think it's Croak. But he will be Carl Franz. And if I get any of the spellings wrong, don't you worry. I will come back and I will fix it. Because I will use a program just to fix it. Carl Franz. Yes, good. The Emperor. What double check my freaking Warhammer Fantasy lore? I've been a fan of Warhammer Fantasy for so long, and yet now, as I'm putting in names into a Pokemon game, I'm like, am I doing these wrong? But no. And Archaon received his Bulbasaur. Wait, Sigmar, let's check out our Pokemon. I'll take you on. Bring it on, you son of a bitch. I'll fuck your shit up. I have the Warhammer in my hand, and it is a Squirtle. It looks a little different, I know, but I can use it. I can use it by like the tail and sort of whack you with it. But it'll probably do a lot of damage to my turtle instead, you know, because that's a lot of damage to his tail. We're gonna tail whip him because he's almost certainly gonna growl me and do absolute. Oh, okay, cool. Yes, reduce his defense so I can do any amount of damage because I'm fucking Squirtle and do nothing in terms of damage. Yes, you can keep beating on me. It doesn't matter. Now that you are weakened. Okay, you're only -2 now, but still you're weakened. That was a... Oh, right. Crits ignore changes to attack and defense. So actually, that crit was worse for us. Oh my god. Squirtle is so weak early on. God above. Squirtle is definitely more of a defensive Pokemon, but we're getting there. We're gonna win. We're gonna win. Unless I get crit. Unless I may have just lost this here. All as well. I didn't even have to use my potion. To be honest, I had the potion, so it didn't matter. You know, I could have just used the potion and healed up, but it's cool. Unbelievable. Inconceivable. I picked the wrong Pokemon. Yeah, I know. It's not like a dark horse of doom and horror or evil or yet. Or a three-headed dragon thing with rat tails later on, which is... God, that model is so cool. I'm such a... I actually quite like playing both games. Fantasy, especially now that it's gotten old world rules. I actually quite like the old world rules. But I actually quite like Age of Sigmar now that it has rules. When it first came out, that shit had no rules. It was terrible. But now it's good. It's quite fun. It is quite different though. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you either one is better. But anyway, that's enough about that. If you haven't been keeping up, I have been posting a few updates here and there about medical problems. I didn't go into too great of detail because it is personal, but let's just say it's been rough on me lately. Even right now, I can feel some medicine working to make my stomach stop ejecting everything ever put into it. Which I gotta say, once you stop having nausea, you sort of take it for granted, uh, being able to eat or drink or anything without throwing up. It is quite nice. So in the future, for any Pokemon we've already seen, I will be editing out the battle for. Just putting like a blur screen or something like that over. Don't you hit me with a Gus, you piece of shit. I will smack you with the power of my turtle tail. Yeah. With that Warhammer, that is my turtle. Apparently the Warhammer is... It needs a little buffing. It needs a little, maybe it needs the weight needs to be changed up a little bit. I don't know. Cutter Franz. Yeah, Squirtle is not a very strong offensive Pokemon early on. It really isn't. Later on, Blastoise becomes quite the formidable foe, but this early on, don't worry about it. We're not... Unless you have, like, Charmander, you're not going to be doing a lot of damage. And even so, Charmander, like we had in Red, would struggle, at least in theory, with the first gym leader. But we actually cooked Brock alive with using Ember and the fact that special defense doesn't really exist yet. You know, Professor Oak, right? Here you go. Here's an order for a 10-year-old to take back through an area of grave danger. And I'm going to force this upon you so that you can't even come and get Pokeballs until, you know, you've completed this errand for me. Because I'm a lazy piece of shit. Fuck. But we can just hop on back. The classic hop on back. Hop on through to the other side. You know. Yeah, it is. You know. Don't. Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. That's what I fucking thought. So we'll be going through some dialogue a little bit faster here and there, just because, you know. Hooray. Well, Sigmar, how's my old Pokemon? Well, it seems to be liking you on the forces of chaos. Ooh. Here's... Oh, thank you for delivering my package. Oh, I love it when you handle my package. You handled it so well. Anyway, sorry. Here's Archaon, the Ever-Chosen. He's a bitch. Bitch. Sorry, I got nausea, so it's hard not to say that. I'm sorry. Okay, yes. We're getting the Pokedex so that we can actually see what Pokemon we get and all the interesting stuff about them when we catch them, like their height or their weight, which is usually extremely weird. Like most of the Pokemon you think is not a short king is a short king. Machamp, he's like 5'4". He's a short king. Sure, he can bench press your car, but like short king. Sort of like how Wolverine is a canonical short king. Did you know that? That's why they made that joke in Deadpool that he's the comics Wolverine short king. He's like 5'4". Sure, he's can rip you in half and cut you down to size, but yeah, he is indeed a. Oh God, the ball sack teeth. All right, call friends, beat the fajibus out of him. So, what Pokemon are we gonna get to join our team as soon as we can get Pokeballs? Which we can from the next group. We're gonna get a Pidgey, Pidgeot, or Pidgeot, depending on how you pronounce it. And the anime in the first couple seasons consistently fucked up the naming for. Pidgeot is not a bad Pokemon whatsoever. Might not be with us the entire way through to Pokemon Stadium, but will be fun. Like this. This is a Pidgey. Pidgeot is the final evolution, and it's not a bad Pokemon. Ultimately, I want a flying Pokemon on all my teams. Just for convenience sake, really. But we'll be using Pidgey, at least at first. We may trade it out for the only dragon Pokemon in the game, but I'm undecided on that still. I'm really considering it, but this team will already be probably the most quote-unquote meta of the three teams. Like, each of the teams I've tried to throw in some just interesting Pokemon. This one will have, like, the most quote-unquote meta, like, competitive for Gen 1 choices. And the Amalgam team, Team A, even though there will be a second team, Team B, which will be slightly less, OP as fuck, there will probably still be plenty of meta Generation 1 choices in those teams. But I do try and get at least a little bit of interesting stuff thrown in here and there. Do that, and then I also want to we'll buy 4 antidotes, that should be enough. Weirdly, once you bring back Oak's Parcel, you cannot get potions there anymore. It's really, really weird. I think they fix it in yellow. Okay, so what am I going to do? Before we complete this episode, it's only been about 15 minutes, I am going to... about 13, probably by the time you see all the edits. I am going to catch a Pidgey. I'm going to level up both Carl and the Pidgey up to level 9. And we'll go from there. Alright, welcome back. We have our 2 Pokemon leveled up. We have Tyrion, the Pidgey, who is the heir to the throne, of course. Or not really the heir to, whatchaboozit. He's a dragon. He's awesome. He's cool. He's an elf. He's a high elf dragon rider man, magic man. Magic man! You know how it is. He's cool. Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with him. He's cool as fuck. Anyway, let's go over here. I'm sorry I'm so scatterbrained. It's just because of the sickness and, to be honest, all the medications I'm having to use to keep my sicknesses in check. But I will be getting better over time and getting less erratic, or at least I hope so. That would be absolutely wonderful. Archaon wants to fight, as he always does. This is why I wanted to get my Pokemon up to level 9, because he's done the same. And we're going to immediately Sand Attack him. Ooh, he missed his. And I'm going to use 3 Sand Attacks on him. Ooh. With this, Tyrion may just fucking wipe the enemy team at this rate. Weirdly, Gust is not a flying type attack, so it won't be super effective against Bulbasaur. It is normal type, however, so it does still get a damage bonus from Tyrion also being normal. That's called the stab bonus, where if you use a move that's the same type as the Pokemon who uses it, it will get a damage boost, so like a 1.25, something like that. Ow, that was not a crit somehow. But we're going to keep Tyrion in as long as we can, basically. I'm probably going to Sand Attack Bulbasaur. First things first. I'm not actually sure who outspeeds. Bulbasaur is a lot faster than you can give him credit. Alright, Leech Seed is actually quite annoying. We're going to switch out to Carl Franz to break Leech Seed, otherwise he'll just keep healing off of us. Okay, that's fine. We're actually going to attack once, because I'm pretty sure the Bulbasaur is stuck into Leech Seed for a moment. Alright, now I will go back to Tyrion. I'm pretty sure his AI is, like, hard locked into, yeah. Just get him some more Sand Attack. Alright, 2 should be enough. We should be able to finish him off with Tyrion and Carl Franz. Yeah, he can't hit us, he can't see us. He's blinded! Get the fajibas off my screen. Alright, you know, that's a little counterintuitive when he actually survives that, but okay. There. Yeah, look at that. And we both get a little bit of experience, which is nice. Tyrion levels up to level 10. And Carl Franz does not. That's fine. Sigmar defeated Archaon! Wow, that would have been so much nicer than the ending we got. I heard Pokemon League has many tough trainers. I have to figure out how to get past them. You should quit dawdling and get a move on. That is the plan, my friend. That is the plan. And then I'll hunt you down and kick your ass some more. As is right and proper. That was just a rat-a-tat-a. Interesting thing, I don't know if you saw, but Carl Franz did actually learn a water-type move. The special move, Bubble. All water-type moves are special in Gen 1, and will be up until Gen 4, when finally moves were separated into physical and special attacks, not based upon their typing. Alright, so where are we going next? We're going to Viridian Forest. An interesting place. It will be a lot of fun. If you tried to go there before fighting, or before doing Oak's package, you could actually completely skip that fight with Archaon, with Gary there. If you tried to do this before Oak's package, that bald guy there would be drunk in the middle of a public road. Quote unquote, public road! Ugh, sorry, I almost threw up. But, now we've kicked him to the curb, quite literally. We can go to here, Viridian Forest. So I thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to save here. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this next and final leg of the journey, the Gen 1 journey.